Right?
Hmm?
Right?
Hmm?
Sure. Let's just jump right into it.
You're about to witness the strength of creep knowledge.
Good evening. And apparently my microphone has noise in it. Welcome to the Fortean Slip. This is episode 202. The not so lost colony of Roanoke. Greetings, salutations, everyone. Returning to the program tonight. One night only. Hope you got your tickets. Steve Alcorn, the Sweetwater legend.
My triumphant return.
The triumphant return. You didn't ask for it.
You didn't want it.
We gave it to
anyway.
you anyway.
So I promise, folks, that this will be a one-time event for now.
A one-time event for now.
Until I decide to do it again.
Steve's not exactly thrilled.
I was actually looking forward to it all, once you asked me. So, but I wouldn't look forward to it if I had to do it every week again. So,
yeah, and
I don't know why. I kind of lost it.
I had been telling people. Recently we've been talking about it on the show, and I'd said, that you were happier not doing it every week than when we were. So
there you go, Alan. I'm back.
Do you still do
Alan
the?
Keeps asking me.
Do you still do the reseller show?
Yeah, I do that every Wednesday morning.
Wednesday mornings.
But it's in the morning, and then I got the rest of the day to do whatever I want. When you're doing a night show, it's a little different.
Right. So. Yeah, when you get up in the morning and you do it, and it's right out of the way first thing in the morning, that is a little different. So I get that. So you bought the fucking Glowforge, Steve.
I bought a Glowforge.
How are you liking that fucking thing?
It's pretty unique piece of equipment, I'll tell you. I like it
it's what? It's a laser etcher?
It'll etch, it'll cut, it'll score. It'll catch fire if you want it to.
Yeah?
Yeah. I haven't done that yet.
Or if you fucking accidentally said it wrong.
Well, you can etch such fine. I did a paper bag tonight. That's how, you can etch that finely. So
really?
if you're not careful with materials like that, you could set it on fire pretty easy.
No shit. Yeah, I've seen some of the shit you were doing. I was telling Katie about the coasters.
Sounds really neat.
I saw the little backlit shadow boxes that you've been doing now.
Yeah, we don't have video on this show, but I made a pretty cool fucking shadow box.
Yeah,
Can I turn the video on for a second?
Oh yeah, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
I forgot to turn the camera.
Just a second.
My camera was off.
It will be a second because
Here's the one I did for my channel.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
It's got the LED strips in there.
Yep.
And you got the remote and all that shit.
Wow, that's really neat.
So I just got to be able to source the.
You can set that shit up. Somebody was showing me too. You can set that shit up with those LED lights with smart switches and stuff, so that you can turn them on and off with your Alexa and shit.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
I don't know if this particular one, but
it's pretty neat. That's cool. That's a fucking the shit that I've seen that you've been doing with it. It's fucking pretty crazy.
Nobody else is making these, Chris.
That's really cool.
It's an idea I came up with one day because my wife accidentally shined a flashlight on the back of one of those mirrors. So
you should start fucking mass producing them fucking things.
Well, you got to get buyers. I'm new, so the buyer side is a little slow, but I'll get there.
Yeah, you figure it out. Figure out how you can get your product to the consumer. It's that easy, man. You just got to figure it out. Once you figure
I'm
out
pretty
that line, you'll be golden.
I'm pretty certain that once I perfect this, it's not quite perfected. The ones I got for sale right now are battery operated because they didn't have the right materials. And I came across that one today. That's lighting system, and it worked out really well. So
Nice.
once I get that in there, and then I could even do subscribe buttons like that and stuff. I think that would sell pretty well.
Oh yeah.
People
Yeah,
love that shit.
That's some pretty fucking cool shit. Absolutely.
Anyway, that's what's been occupying my time for the last month.
Yeah. Things have things have remained pretty much the same for me. I mean, with the exception of the fact that I have my new job, which is fucking great for me. I mean, I couldn't ask for a better fucking gig than what I have right now.
It's a super sweet job.
Yeah, if I wasn't doing what I do, I wouldn't mind having a job like that.
Yeah, I literally, I get paid to sit and read for a good portion of my night. So, and it's perfect for me. It's absolutely perfect for me. And I mean, I can still do extra shit and still read all night and like still come out looking like a fucking hero when I leave work. So it's just been great. Doing this again. I'll be honest, I'm not as fucking crazy about it as I used to be. At all. Like I used to be, I was waiting for it, like constantly looking for the next thing. Whereas now I enjoy it. It's a good little outlet. But I'm not trying to go crazy with it like I was before. So I am working on the like page a little bit. Just because it's so fucking big and I'm really pissed off about that. The way the Facebook algorithm has fucked the page, it's I don't even know how to describe it to people. That page used to get, if you looked at any one post, like in any given day, you would see at least 2 to 3 posts with over 1,000 likes on the fucking post. And the amount of comments were way crazier than they are now. So I started this morning. I started a little campaign on the page for those of you that give a fuck or give a flying fuck. If you'd like to be an active member of the Fortean Slip,
that would exclude me.
Yes, completely fucking exclude you. If you'd like to be an active member of the Fortean Slip, you can, if you enjoy coming to the page and you like the content that's on the page, but you don't follow the page, please follow the page. For one, if the Facebook algorithm is not sending the stuff out to people. So unless you follow it, you don't see it regularly, not in the way that you would. And the more people interact on the posts, the more they can't shunt it. It's a very strange thing. It's still going to be shunted, but I just want to bring it back. I just want to bring it back. It's ignorant that they've shunted the page over that type of subject matter, because like the things that I've been dinged on have nothing to do with the subject matter.
Right.
Like it just makes me so fucking mad that they just won't let it go back to normal. There's no reason for it at this point.
They're protecting the people, Chris.
Protecting the people from what? From fucking
misinformation.
What? Oh, misinformation. Oh, you mean the thing that they also promote?
Yes.
Oh.
Exact thing that they promote.
Oh. Oh, I wanted to make sure that I got it
This
right.
information according to them.
Right. Well, their fact checkers often get the information wrong, so. Like,
Yeah,
you
that is
share
true.
a fucking meme that has a picture in it, and it's a funny fucking meme. It's a funny, stupid meme. But because the picture
That
is
nobody takes
related,
seriously, by the way.
is related to an article that is factually inaccurate, that's the type of stuff that they're nailing you for now.
Yeah. I saw yesterday that I can actually push a button now on somebody's post to add COVID information or whatever the information was, the factual information. If somebody posted something, like,
Oh, can you?
Boy, yes, you
Wow.
can.
Oh, isn't
The
that
Facebook.
nice?
So if I disagree with you, let's say about COVID or any other subject, and there's a button there, I could put my own information below your post and make it look official, as if Facebook, put that there.
Wow.
Oh my god! How about if I disagree with you, I just shut the fuck up and go have a
I long
coffee.
for the old days.
Go fucking have a goddamn grilled cheese sandwich.
We gave them power, and so they're using it. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it.
I've been saying this for like fucking weeks now. It is fucking truly Animal Farm at this point. The fucking rules are being written on the side of the barn. There's only a few people that can read them, and they're being changed constantly.
It's been like that for.
It's
I
way.
think they used.
It's
They
way
used the
worse now.
pandemic. They used the pandemic to launch whatever it is, whatever their agenda is. They used the last election to do it too. Whether you
Yeah.
agree with the guy who lost or won, it doesn't matter. They used it as a
Well, here's the thing.
starting point.
Here's the thing. Okay, whether you agree with who lost or who won, the fucking people that are running this fucking shit have been under both administrations, and they're both following the guidelines of the same fucking people. Period.
Yeah.
Trump did the lockdowns, which were just as fucking devastating to this country as anything fucking Biden's been doing. I mean, it just, to me at this point, the blame lies with the CDC and the people in charge of public health, because they're not looking at public health. It's somewhere along the line we got more concerned about the bottom dollar than public health. And in my opinion,
But when you do something in the name of public
gross.
health like that, then it's hard to argue with them because they're the experts, right? And so if you're on the opposite side of that, it's gonna be a lot rougher for you, even though you might be right. Doesn't the right and wrong don't matter? No matter. Don't.
Yeah,
matter
it's
anything anymore.
yeah, and that's, but it's that way with a lot of different things with people in power. People in power tend to be more right in the public eye.
Exactly.
So
That's true. Well, it depends on who you are too.
yeah, it's I don't know.
The more political you are,
I just
the
think
more
it's
they look at you.
It's a slippery slope we're on right now. I know though that term is
We'll come
used
out
a
of it.
lot, but it is. We are on a really slippery one right now. So,
It's strange times. Real strange.
well, my hope is that more people wake up and tune out of the mainstream bullshit and tune into independent news. Find something that is, I hope, is truthful and honest to you.
The problem, though, even with independent news, is most every outlet, I don't care, independent, mainstream, they all have a fucking agenda. One way or another.
They all
It's
lean
hard
one
to
way or
find.
the other.
It's
Well-
hard to find a real, true, nonpartisan news outlet.
If I'm gonna go one journalist in particular, I go Matt Taibbi.
I'm not
Fucking
sure
guy's
who that
great.
is.
Yeah, we'll look into his shit. And Matt Taibbi's a journalist. That's all. He's a journalist. He doesn't seem to have an agenda to me. But here's the thing, like the reason why people are flocking to Rogan, it isn't because Rogan is some fucking arbiter of fucking truth or that everything that is on his show is right. The reason people flock to Rogan is because Rogan will, in the aftermath of something, say, you know what? I was wrong. Rogan has humility. When CNN was fucking called out for being wrong about ivermectin, they doubled down on it. They didn't come out and admit they were wrong. They just acted assholes.
You know, remember there was a time that if you said COVID was, released from this lab in China, that, man, that was misinformation.
Oh, that was
But
a
yet
conspiracy
now we
theory.
know that that's the true.
Yeah, it's a conspiracy
Nobody's
theory.
apologized for that. Nobody said, okay, we were wrong.
No, not a fucking bit.
It was, and
it was proven that story that Rachel Maddow put out was about the people not being able to get into the emergency room with gunshot wounds because of people bunging up the hospital with ivermectin poisoning. That it was all a bullshit story. That it was concocted, and
I guess they knew that.
She's never apologized for that. Not once.
Rachel Maddow might not, although I can't stand watching that woman. I don't like her as a person, but she might not have known that it was a bullshit story, but it fit her agenda. You know what I'm saying? So she went with it. She didn't question it. Why would you question it if it goes with your agenda
anymore? They don't.
There was
a fucking thing.
I saw Hannity the other day, and he was talking about Whoopi Goldberg and her getting quote unquote canceled, which she really wasn't. But and he's
lying
like,
about,
they
lying about his text messages.
No. But he's like, he was on her side this time, and it's because he's like, if I join that side and become part of that cancel culture, and he didn't think what she said was as bad as he's not for canceling anybody, I guess. But I was like, wow, he actually stuck up for Whoopi Goldberg. Not what she said, just the fact that she shouldn't have been canceled.
Hannity, that doesn't surprise me. Hannity's done that many times. He's still a piece of shit.
Well, I didn't say he wasn't. I'm just saying I wish that was more the norm. Okay, she apologized. She made a mistake. Although I disagree with what she said, obviously. I think everybody does, right? But does that deserve to be, shut you down, lose your career over, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I
people
don't
make
think
mistakes. We should be allowed to make mistakes.
Yeah.
But how many people have lost their career? Roseanne, for example. I don't remember what she was supposed to have said or what she did say, but it wasn't any different. The situation wasn't different,
right.
but she can't work now. Yeah. She can't work now because, they decided the powers that
actually, I can't remember what her thing was, but she had done one thing where she like fucking dressed up like Hitler and was baking fucking cookies or some shit.
Well, no, that would be wrong depending on the situation. If it was a comedy sketch or something, that was
fucking Roseanne Barr's fucking Jewish. So
yeah.
I mean,
I don't even know what she was supposed to. I can't remember what the situation was.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was.
We do this to so many people over such minor things, and I'm not saying what Whoopi did was minor. It was pretty shitty of her to say. But I think a lot of African American people look at racism different than a lot of other, because they've been, the subject of it for so long.
Oh, and yeah.
So when it comes to that subject, a lot of them think that they can't be racist. They're the ones who
I've said
are
this. She made the mistake of equating it to just a religious thing. She was like, well, it's just two groups of white people. But it's way more complex than that.
Right. And I think that was her mistake. Yeah.
I saw where she was coming from with it. And the thing with Whoopi is she came right out. She apologized. She was like, I was wrong. Okay, great. My problem with Whoopi is how she vehemently attacks other people like Bill Maher, because Bill Maher wants to end fucking the COVID restrictions. You know, he's like, fucking enough already.
Well, she wants to, she would want to have you to be tolerant of her, but, and I can't
Right.
stand Bill Maher. Trust me, I hate the guy, but she can't be tolerant of him, and that's
Right.
that's bullshit.
And that's the thing. Like, and Katie and I have been talking about this a lot lately. That that the world lacks tolerance.
I've been saying that for years. Like, you can't have freedom. It's the main ingredient of freedom is tolerance. If you want to enjoy your freedoms, you got to tolerate your neighbor enjoying their freedoms. And we've lost that. That's our problem.
There's certain, there's obviously limits to
Well,
what
sure.
is tolerable, but we've gone the wrong direction. We're limiting everything,
Right?
and that's bullshit.
It's become such a nanny state in so many ways. Like, it baffles me that we're in a time now where I can get weed delivered to me, and we're like decriminalizing fucking mushrooms everywhere. But in every other aspect, it's a fucking nanny state. Like,
I
it's
wonder
so
if a lot
weird.
of this,
Is a distraction.
I don't know if it's a distraction. Is it to, buying your loyalty? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's a keep you dependent. I don't know. They're handing out, these smoke care packages, and yes, I know they don't contain crack pipes for real, but is that the right way to, deal with the situation? I don't know.
You got to keep people on their toes, Steve. Crack, keeps your
They're
head
not
on a swivel.
actually giving them crack, but and I looked into it independently of what everybody was saying, and there's no crack pipes in those care kits. But what are they? Are these people even going to use those things? No, they're going to litter the streets with them because they're drug addicts, and living. It's just the way it's going to be, and so we're spending $30 million or $1 billion or whatever it was on this, and not really getting to the root problem. And that kind of thing bothers me.
Listen, like fucking, Joe Biden said on the Kyle Dunnigan show, Steve, I've ordered a full-scale assault on Joe Brogan. Joe Brogan has said the N-word to Snooki Goldberg. Nobody's watching the Winter Olympics.
I do enjoy that little skit.
My fucking Kyle Dunnigan's fucking Joe Biden impression is the best thing of 2022 right now. Oh my
it's
fucking
almost
god!
creepy, but it's good.
The past two fucking ones that he's put out, my fellow geraniums, I can watch that goddamn fucking clip. I could watch it right now and still laugh.
The reason I like it, he's not really political in it. It's just it's good old fashioned making fun of the guy,
Oh, absolutely.
And I like it. Using his own faults against him, And if he had done any other president, it would have been just as funny.
Thoughts and prayers go out to Jesse Trombone. He came so close to calling him fucking Rusty Trombone. I was like, that is fucking hilarious. I've sent Vice Principals Camius Harris to the Planet of the Truck people. It's the fucking best thing I've seen all year. I mean, the year's young. The year's young, Steve. But I'm pretty sure it's going to continue with this fucking little sketch. We've got fucking 3 more years of this.
I'm not saying we made a mistake in who we elected, but
I am.
I'm not saying the other guy would have been any better, but
hey, listen. Could we all admit that the vice president needs to be replaced?
Yeah.
Can we just
Did she ever
admit?
make an appearance?
Can we just admit that they're hiding her because she's a fucking disgrace? Oh my god! What was it?
Who was?
Not to bring up Rogan again, but I was listening to fucking Rogan, and he was talking about how she's fucking joking, or Dave Smith was talking about how she's joking about fucking smoking weed, and she fucking prosecuted so many people for fucking possession of weed and put them in jail and ruined their fucking lives.
I want to
Wow.
see a black woman or a black man or any other colored person be in a high position like that based on merit. However, when you choose based on color or race or belief or whatever, and not on merit, this is what you get. And that's what's going to happen with the Supreme Court too. And that bothers the fuck out of me.
Yeah,
And it has nothing to do with racism or I'd love to see a black woman Supreme Court justice. It would be great.
Yeah.
As long
But
as she's
she needs to
qualified
have
for the
merit.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is the most qualified for the job at the time.
Absolutely.
And that bothers me. And that's why we're having issues.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's a crazy time, and you know,
Go listen to what
I'm-
Judge Joe Brown says about Kamala Harris. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It is hilarious.
and I'm sorry that I spent so much time on this tonight, folks, but I mean, if you think about it, this is like I said before, it's fucking Animal Farm. The conspiracy theory is the truth right now. I hate to say that. It's not very often that you'd ever hear me say that, but it's fucking. You got to open your eyes, and it's
I never thought
unfortunate.
we thought we'd be in a state like this. I thought, you got your conspiracy theory nuts who say some really wacky shit, but yet now they're all right. I didn't think,
Times.
I would have been totally on the
Listen,
opposite side.
and not. I don't want people to go to the fucking far end of conspiracy theories. This
No.
is not fucking QAnon fucking
No.
territory, people. Because that shit I think is dangerous. Like dudes who
Can
fucking
be.
show up at pizza shops with fucking guns to fucking save the kids when there's no basement and no kids. That's not cool. So, but we are in a weird time. We're in a fucking strange time, and I think everybody should be made aware of it. And I don't think anyone should shut up about it at all. This is not the time to be fucking silent. It is definitely the time to fucking speak out. And it doesn't matter what side you're on. We're all on the same fucking side, people. Like that's something that we have so lost sight of here. Is that yes, there's a fucking right and a left in this fucking country, but they're on the same goddamn bird. It's just the way it is. Right wing, left wing, same fucking bird.
Oh, see, I didn't get that until you actually explained it.
Well,
The
that's
bird
because
thing.
that's because you're
You want-
fucking inept.
It flew over my head.
Yeah, just a little bit. Because you heard a thunderbird.
But once you said, on the same bird wing, and I pieced it all together and got it.
Yeah, the logic puzzle came together, Steve.
It did.
Oh, good.
Taking the feathers out of your teeth.
Yeah, sounds good. Anyway, let's fucking move on to the news. Our fucking title story of the night, ladies and gentlemen, after decades of work from iflscience.com. After
Hey, wait,
decades
I get to be on the other side of the news?
Yes.
Love
After
it.
decades of work, researcher concludes the obvious about America's lost colony of Roanoke. After decades of work, a researcher has come to the obvious conclusion about America's lost colony of Roanoke. There was never a mystery to begin with. In 1587, colonizers from England, led by explorer John White, landed on Roanoke Island just off the eastern coast of North America, in what is now Dare County, North Carolina. It was the second attempt to set up a permanent colony. the first having failed 2 years before. During the first year of the second attempt, it became clear that the English settlers would need more resources and people in order to make a success of the project. Among the problems was a troubled relationship with nearby indigenous tribes, which saw one of the colonists killed within days of arrival while hunting crabs. White set sail for England once more to request extra help, leaving his family behind on the island. Disaster struck when the escalating war with Spain meant that he was unable to get himself a ship back. 3 years later, he returned to the island only to find the settlement completely empty, along with everyone else on the island, his wife, daughter, and granddaughter, Virginia Dare, the first English child born in the New World, and unfortunately now a source of white nationalist pride, were gone. I don't know why that needed to be fucking put in there.
Because they got to put that shit in everything. Go ahead.
The crew of White's ship searched for clues of their whereabouts, but found only the word Croatoan and the letters CRO carved into trees at the border of the colony. There were no graves and no bodies to indicate anything had gone wrong. With storms brewing, the crew was unable to investigate further and left the island for Plymouth. The colony was never seen again by White or anyone else from England, and the whole episode was largely forgotten for 250 years. In the 1830s, thanks to some sensational writings, Virginia Dare and the Lost Colony legend resurfaced and has since become an enduring mystery, even being dubbed the Area 51 of colonial history. Theories about the disappearance range from the colony attempting to return to England on one of the smaller ships left behind on the island to being attacked by the Spanish or local indigenous tribes, though both of these rely on ignoring the only evidence left behind at the scene. The mystery has actually been solved since at least 1605 from the perspective of the colonizers, and earlier by the nearby Native Americans. As local historian Scott Dawson has outlined in his new book, The Lost Colony and Hatteras Island, based on years of research, there was never a mystery to begin with. They were never lost. It was made up. The mystery is over, Dawson told the Virginia pilot in an interview about his
mystery.
Book. Of course we do. Which looks at years of archaeological evidence as well as the question why the lost colony became a mystery despite being solved for centuries. The word Croatoan, written on the tree, referred to a nearby indigenous group, the Croatoans, who still live in Dare County in coastal North Carolina. When White and his crew found the settlement abandoned, their first thought was that they had gone to live with the nearby indigenous people who were much more adept at living in the area than the colonizers. In 1701, explorer John Lawson visited the area to find that several of their ancestors were white, suggesting that the early theories were correct. The English settlers had integrated with a local tribe. You're robbing an entire nation of people of their history by pretending Croatoan is a mystery on a tree, Dawson said. These were a people that mattered a lot. Or to put it more bluntly, we, that is to say, natives from the eastern side of the continent, literally fucking told you this for hundreds of years. It was never a mystery. You were just literally too racist to imagine we could have an enviable standard of living that would make European colonists join us.
I don't know that is a racist thing. I just think it was a better story.
Well, it makes sense. It makes
complete sense. I would have thought that, if there was other colonies or whatever, they would have just been absorbed by whatever was closest, and that's what exactly happened. Except they went with the tribe instead. Makes complete sense.
Well, and people have hung their hat on this one for a long time. Like he was saying, that this is the Area 51 of early America, type of story, and it's. Of course, it's fucking pretty simple.
It usually is.
Yeah, most of this stuff is. Occam's razor is a fucking thing, people. The fucking most fucking likely thing is the fucking truth.
You got a little girl named Virginia Dare. It makes a great story.
I agree. You get some fucking.
I think I'm gonna name my next kid Virginia Dare.
You get a good story. That's all you need is a good story, Steve.
They named their freaking county after her.
And on to our next story. From nrtoday.com, Sasquatch sightings reported during the Seven Feathers Sportsman's and Outdoor Recreation Show. Something pungent struck Scott Violet's nostrils. In that moment, he knew Sasquatch was near. My best description of the smell is skunk, wet dog, garbage, and onions.
That's the
Violet
first
said.
thing he thought of.
He continued hiking when a sudden noise drew his attention toward a brush opening about 200 feet away, where a hairy ape-like creature stared at him. After 25 years of restlessly researching the creature, tracking sightings, and spending a stupid amount of time camping in the woods, I agree. I agree, sir. It was a stupid amount of time. He finally saw one with his own eyes. Violet of Squatch
Wait,
America.
Wait, this guy was
What?
already a Bigfoot researcher prior to this sighting, correct?
Yes,
This wasn't some chance encounter by
25 years, Steve, of
That explains a little
restlessly
bit then.
researching, spending a
explains a lot.
stupid amount of time, Steve.
I don't think it was a stupid amount of time in the woods. It's always great to be out in the woods. It was stupid why he was out there. That's all.
Violet of Squatch America came out to the Seven Feather Sportsman's and Outdoor Recreation Show on Saturday with a 10-foot tall, 800-pound animatronic Sasquatch in tow.
And he just happens to see a real Sasquatch.
To wow believers and skeptics alike. The organization, which aims to inform the public about the existence of the cryptid species, animals whose existence have not been conclusively proven, also provided footprint castings and informational posters.
Never saw one of these things before, but he has a giant animatronic Sasquatch that he carries around with him.
No, he did see one.
At the sportsman's event.
He finally saw one.
Yeah, but he hadn't seen one prior to that.
There are about 5,000 to 6,000 Sasquatch across the country, Violet said. He knows the exact numbers.
Wow.
5,000 to 6,000. Roger Drennan of Myrtle Creek came out to discuss Bigfoot and the other common name for Sasquatch with a silhouette necklace around his neck. He said he's been a believer since the age of 8 after stumbling upon footprints in the woods. Since then, he even spotted one while he was fishing alongside the South Umpqua River. About 20 people came out to the booth with stories of encounters, Violet said. The encounters ranged from hearing noises at night, stone throwing, and actual sightings. However, Sasquatch wasn't the only draw for the event. Attendees throughout the day had the chance to get a taste of the multitude of outdoor recreation options available through exhibitors, attractions, and sponsors. Guides and outfitters were also around to inform people about adventures on local and exotic waterways, ocean fishing, hunting expeditions, and photographic adventures. Some learned the tricks of fly fishing with Doug Myers, of Fly Fishing Veterans, as others admired the head and shoulder mounts of elk, deer, and other hunting prizes. Arguably, Tag, the 10-foot tall, half-ton Kodiak bear, stole the show. Crowds filled every space on the bleachers and around the cage area where Tag performed a series of tricks in order to receive cookie after cookie.
Wait,
The sounds of oohs and ahs were not in short supply throughout the performance. The final day of the outdoor show will be open 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Sunday at the fairgrounds. Yeah.
So there was a giant bear who did tricks.
Yes.
And there was a giant Sasquatch, animatronic Sasquatch, and apparently a real Sasquatch, but the bear was the draw of the show.
I guess,
wouldn't the Sasquatch be the draw of the show? I would guess.
Yeah.
Real one.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
I think Mr. Violet's full of shit.
I'm so skeptical of anything that comes out. It's very hard, and it's hard. It's hard to make a rational decision about these things now, about these people's sightings, without immediately going to bias. Now, I'll relay a story. I was speaking with a woman the other night. She runs a paranormal magazine. I'm not going to say magazine is, who the person is. She's like, I'm like, well, I'm a skeptic, yada, yada, yada. So I don't want you to think that, I'm very skeptical about things. She's like, well, I'd like you to take a look at this. And I'm like, okay. So she sends me a video. I had a shapeshifter walk behind me. Now, immediately, Steve, immediately, I am already going, yeah, bullshit.
But is that your bias?
Right, exactly. Is that my bias already
Yeah.
coming out? And then she sends me the video. And I'm like, well, if you want my personal opinion, it was a person that walked behind you. Well, you're calling me a liar? Because there was no one in my house.
I had a similar experience.
Okay. All right. Well, in that case, if I were you, I would send the video to a person who is a video and or photographic expert who could take a look at the video and give you an honest breakdown of it. No, I don't want to do that. I'm a professional. I know what I'm doing. Okay.
Yeah.
I personally wouldn't do it that way because my own personal biases might get in the way. And I would rather have a third party look at it. Well, I'm a professional and I don't need anyone else to look at my stuff.
Then why did you ask me to look at it?
Ta-da.
Yeah. So I was in, I just happened to see a post from the coalition group.
Yeah.
And nothing bad. It was just another skeptic. And, I'm very skeptical nowadays.
Hmm.
And his ideas behind the Bigfoot, the Patterson film, were that Patterson had watched the film of the Kennedy assassination and realized how bad film evidence was. And that's what he used to model the Bigfoot film after. I'm like, dude, that didn't show on TV till 1975. Patterson died in 1972. So then he comes back at me like, well, yeah, but there were pictures in Life magazine. I'm like, those were just pictures.
Yeah.
That is not film evidence. It's not going to. Roger didn't think anything of the Kennedy assassination while he was planning a Bigfoot hoax, if that's what he did.
Yeah.
I'm like, you want to prove your point so bad that you're digging in your ass to get a story like that. And then I went back into retirement, but I just had to point to the fact Geraldo showed it on, I forget the name of the show, in 1975. And of course he came back and said, well, it was on the underground TV show in 1970, but still that's after the Patterson Gimlin film. Well after.
Yeah.
And it's just when you have bias, and it can go both ways. And maybe I'm biased too, but I wanted to put the tidbit of fact out there,
Yeah, and that's why I say
this is why you're wrong.
That's why I say that I think that even if I have my own, like, I had some evidence that I came across, in my personal life. The video, it was a video that I sent to Phil. Missy had grabbed it. It looks like something flying off into the night from the ocean.
I saw that, yes.
And I'm like, this is definitely from behind the fucking building. I don't think it's a bug, but my own personal bias is getting in the way. So I say, hey, somebody else, please take a look at this. Tell me what you think. Now, and Phil's take on it was, if in fact this thing is coming from this direction and from this area, this is interesting.
You calling me a liar, Phil?
Right, exactly, right? Fucking calling me a liar, you motherfucker.
Well, that's the problem with most of these communities is they jump to the fact they don't listen to anything except what you've disagreed with them on, and that's what they attack because they don't want to be wrong.
Oh, did you see that the Norm Glasser picture reared its ugly head again?
No.
Oh yeah, Phil did a video on it.
I'll have to go find that.
I think he used it as a comparison thing.
Right.
I'm pretty sure. Do you remember that one, Katie?
No, not specifically.
I want to say
we would never mention it again. I thought that was the deal.
Yeah, he actually mentions you in it too.
Oh, God.
But yeah, you should go through his fucking. He's been pumping out the videos lately.
Yeah, I think that must be one I missed. I don't remember that one.
Yeah, he definitely brought up the Norm Glasser thing. It's not in the title or anything. It's you have to watch through them because it's but it's in there.
Do I really want to do that?
They're fucking short. They're short. Give Phil some love. Give Phil some love, Steve. You know you love Phil. You made a tiki bar thing.
Oh, that was just because Phil's the only person I know. He's not getting it or anything unless he pays for it.
Yeah, well, I know you. You're a fucking skinflint.
Yeah.
You're all about the fucking money.
How long ago did he release this one? Do you know?
It wasn't that long ago.
Okay.
It's been within the last month. So, but he's been pumping out one a day, just about.
Okay.
But they're all short. They're like fucking less than 5 minutes. You can finish them all up in probably fucking an hour.
Okay.
But anyhow, on to our next story of the night. What do I want to do, Steve? I don't know. Let's go with this one. Excuse me. Oh, I'll get some gas tonight. From WBZ newsradio.iheart.com. UFO spotted an old photo from space taken by Apollo astronaut in the 1960s. There seem to be more and more UFO sightings lately, but spotting unidentified flying objects isn't a new thing. While stories of people seeing strange things in the sky go back centuries, the UFO fascination really picked up in the late 40s and early 50s as tensions over the Cold War and the Korean War were at a high. Although many people claim to have seen UFOs back then, it was during a time when no one had a camera phone in their pocket that could photograph or record the crafts. However, that doesn't mean they weren't captured on camera. In fact, one was just discovered in a photograph taken by one of NASA's own astronauts during an early Apollo mission spacewalk in the 1960s. The picture, which was taken thousands of miles away from Earth, shows the planet from space. At the time, it just looked like land with lots of clouds above it, but it turns out there was more to it than that. I will pop this up so you all can see it with me. Because
Feast our eyes. By the way, I found that Bigfoot or that Phil Poling video, that Perry Breakdown video. You know how
Already?
I found it? He used that picture as a thumbnail.
Oh, he did. Nice.
It's so much easier.
Now, was it about that?
He
I
says
couldn't
this
remember.
rancher captured a real Bigfoot on trail cam, so I haven't looked at it yet.
So they fucking used that picture. So
Bunch
I'm
of
going to
assholes.
assume. Yeah, but that's the photo, that little black dot that you see in that little red circle.
Wait, what's supposed to be here?
UFO captured by an astronaut in 1960, Steve.
Yeah, that's
That looks more like a speck on my laptop screen.
Can we get is there a bigger, blown up photo?
Let me see, Steve. Let me see. Nope. That's all you get. That's all you get right there. I can't blow it up. Well, let me see. Nope.
No, that made it smaller.
No. It's not
I'm going to say
working.
that's conclusive evidence of UFOs.
100%.
There's a red circle.
Yeah, it's a red circle. So, I mean, what more do you want, Steve? What more do you want? So, anyway, recently, as YouTuber zoomed in on something he noticed in the pic and shared the surprising results, the small black speck he saw when enlarged takes the shape of a triangular-shaped craft. One
We
he
didn't
says
see the
has
enlargement, though.
It's not on here. One he says has been seen before. He stated it's almost like the UFO is orbiting the Earth along with the astronaut, who's likely when snapping this photo had no idea that this mysterious black triangle was there. That was written wrong.
Yeah.
You fucking morons. Commenters are convinced with one writing, incredible. That photo taken from space all those years back, catching that triangle is solid proof for me. Solid proof,
Yep.
Katie. 100%.
100%.
100 fucking percent.
Although I don't know, they didn't say 100%. So
no, they didn't. It's
maybe
solid proof could be equated to 100% though.
I would think.
Yeah, similar triangular objects have been photographed from the space station, and during other shuttle missions, some believe the crafts to be secret military space exploration vehicles, while others think they are extraterrestrial in origin. Of course, it could be just space debris.
Could be. That's probably it too.
Probably just
all of the above.
Space debris. I guess they're going to starting to clean it up, though. The space debris, Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's important.
That'd be a neat job to have.
Cleaning up
space
junk.
sanitation.
Space junk. Oh, dude, you want to know like space jobs? Like, give me a fucking space job. I love fucking I love being solitary. I love fucking. If I went to jail, solitary confinement is for me. Like it's like why I love my job. There's no one
Yeah, but
there.
out in space though, that's a different
yeah.
kind of alone.
Fuck yeah. Just give me
Yeah,
my
there's
goddamn.
all sorts of aliens out there. We
Give me
just
my
saw
Kindle.
proof of one.
Just fucking give me my Kindle and a battery. As long as I got food, water, I'm good.
Some
Sit in
Tang.
my Tang, my fucking, my little capsule. I go around picking up space garbage. Steve, I'm in. I'm fucking space sanitation janitor man.
I think that would be a fantastic job. Of course, I wouldn't want to do it alone, but
You know damn
do
well that
you.
by the time they got that shit going on, the fucking capsule's gonna be like a Winnebago with a fucking. It's gonna be like Spaceballs. Dude, you're gonna be acting like a jackass. They're gonna have fucking fat space truckers.
I never watched Spaceballs.
You know it's coming. Fat space truckers, Steve.
Are they fat space freedom truckers?
They're gonna get worse, Steve, because there's no gravity in space.
Huh.
They'll just become fucking blobs that move around vehicles in space.
Huh.
That's what's gonna happen to us. We're just gonna become fucking amoebas.
Yeah, like what's that movie? The little robot Disney movie?
Wally.
Yeah. That's
We're gonna
totally what's
become-
happening.
Yeah, we're gonna become like fucking Wally people. It's gonna happen.
We're headed there for sure.
Absolutely. We want so much robotic assistance that we're gonna wind up being just fat, lazy lumps of shit. And I think that by and large, people want to be fat and lazy lumps of shit more than they want to be fucking athletic.
I'm on the fat, lazy lump of shit side.
Exactly. There you go.
I enjoy it. I don't
I
like
can click
running.
if I can click the button and have the shit come to me, I'm happy.
Fuck yeah.
But that's the way we've been fucking conditioned and raised.
Yeah.
We've been conditioned to this new type of living that
Our
is not.
packaged instant food.
Yeah, you don't go out and get your food anymore. You don't have to fucking work for anything. You're not hunter gathering anymore. You're just clicking a fucking button, and your fucking pleasure center is fucking satisfied.
Buttons.
Yeah, exactly. They light up. The little buttons light up and they go click, 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 click. And then you got fucking something on the way.
I'm not. I'm okay with all that.
Okay.
Now my grandchildren's grandchildren might not be so okay with it, but right now I'm satisfied.
I think I am very concerned. I'm not concerned for me. I'm not concerned for you. I'm not concerned for Katie. I mean, I am, but not to the same degree. I'm concerned for my children. I'm concerned for my children's children, if they, in fact, have any. Because the rate and the direction that we're going is to me, it's not good. It's not going to be beneficial for the future of humanity and for those kids as they try to make their way through this world the same way we did.
They certainly won't do it the same way we did.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I understand that.
And I see my son. My son's very much like me, and he does not give a shit about what he says. And I worry. I worry about him in a modern work environment. Very hopeful he can work from home.
I wish my boys could work from home too. They are
really,
not. Yeah.
I really wish. I hope that in the field that he's going into, he can find stuff where he can work from home.
My oldest boy.
That kid.
Is,
listen, but and I never ever talk about my first wife.
Your boy will be fine, by the way.
Yeah.
He's a good kid.
Yeah. I never talk about my first wife, but that's one of the things that he gets from both of us. Like his mouth, he gets from both of us. My first wife talks like a fucking sailor. And he's the two of us when it comes to that. So that's why I worry about it, because we're in such a woke fucking culture now that his type of attitude is not appreciated.
So my oldest boy was in a car accident when he was 15, and the one thing that was broken was his filter. So he's, says some very inappropriate things at inappropriate times, and he, I worry about him. So he's been on Social Security most of his life, but he just now wanted to go back to work. He's tried a few times, and he actually worked for 2 years straight at the same place, and they didn't fire him, so he must be all right there. But I worry about it. I worry about it a lot. So,
yeah, no.
My youngest son, he just can't handle people. So, yeah, that's another whole situation.
Jesus fucking Christ! You guys hear that?
Sounded like a spaceship.
Fucking cars going by. God damn it!
You live on like a small little
alley.
It should be a vacant.
No,
street
it's the other side.
No,
it's the other side, the main street, and we've said many times. Said many times, if the cops wanted to get their quota, just sit in our front driveway. But they don't nail people down here for some reason. They do not sit down here.
Good to know.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't push it because they get bored down here, Steve. Those cops.
But you bored. Just told me.
Oh, I got followed. I got fucking followed home last night.
Well, I look at you as fairly suspicious as well.
Yeah, do you? You fuck.
What's a guy like him doing in a place like this?
Yeah, like I woke up last night like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, something like that. Something. I took my nap and I slept late. So I get up, ran to 7-Eleven, grabbed myself something to drink and some smokes, and I'm coming back from 7-Eleven and I'm driving down the main drag towards the beach, and I see a cop pulling. There's like a turnaround where you can go down and like park right at the beach. There's like handicap spots there, and you can turn around and it's right by the pier. And so I turn to go up the road towards my house, and I'm driving along, and I see in my rear view his lights. I know it's him immediately. And I'm like, oh, man, I'm driving along, and I'm like, he's getting closer. And I'm just doing the speed limit, doing my thing. And I go through the stop sign on the road, which after that, it's just a straight stretch to the house. And I come around the corner, and after I come around the corner, I'm looking at my rear view, and then he's right there. And I'm like, oh, yeah, he's fucking following me. So I'm like, I know I haven't done anything. Like, the car's fucking legal. Everything's good. My fucking license is good. I'm not doing anything. And if I am, I'm fucking completely unaware of it. Pull down my road. Sure as shit. Pulls right down. Pull around to the next road. Sure as shit. Right behind me. Pull into my fucking driveway. Stops right next to me.
Wow.
No lights or nothing. And I'm like, okay. So I grab my shit, get out of the car, and I'm like, can I help you? And he's like, oh, you're all set, bub. Scarborough had somebody that ran off on him. I was just checking, make sure you weren't him. I'm like, okay.
Weird.
Yeah. Or you were bored. It was 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, and you felt like following me until you could look at my fucking license plate.
How many cars go down that road at that time of night, this time of year?
Yeah, it's dead down here.
He might have, just been making sure.
It's
of course, once he starts following you, you're not gonna do anything stupid at that point.
Well, some people do. Some people do something stupid at that point, Steve.
Some people do. criminals and morons.
And not necessarily criminals. Just sometimes it's just people who are, scared. Not necessarily criminals.
You're not gonna break the law, even if you're scared. You're gonna go slower.
I disagree, Steve. I disagree. Sometimes people get
do,
scared. They
step
do
on
crazy
it?
shit. Steve, just because you wouldn't do that doesn't
Run
mean
into
that somebody
knock
else
off a liquor store
wouldn't
just
do
because
that.
the cops following you.
I didn't say knock off a liquor store, but I'm just saying that people do irrational things when they're scared.
Yeah,
They
for
do.
sure.
So to say that, people would always act in this way, we know, Steve, from actual evidence of shit happening, that that's not the case.
I guess I'm just a stereotyper.
Yes, you are. Maybe an asshole.
I am that. Well established.
Well.
We didn't have anybody in the chat room tonight.
We haven't. No one fucking talks anymore. If Phil's in there and Dean's in there, they say
Dean
shit.
was there last week.
Yeah, but nobody else talks. Anybody that sits here and listens to the show, no one fucking comments. I ask them to all the time. Nobody does. So I gave up.
I mean, my triumphant return. You guys aren't welcoming back, really.
Yeah, nobody fucking gives a shit anymore. So
I'm gonna take another couple months off.
I put out I'm at the point where I just put the fucking show out. I mean, I'm like, whatever.
Oh yeah. Now because I said something.
Now because we said something, Jack says hello.
Oh, he's been around a while.
Here, everybody, say hello, comment. Fucking Christ. And then silence. But again, Steve,
at least Jack had the balls to come out.
That's true. Good on you, Jack. But that's the fucking narrative of fucking Facebook right now. Hey, people, come on out. Fucking, help me out. Fucking rise up. Fucking join hands. You all love this one thing. Let's fucking do this. Silence. Fucking crickets.
Oh, we're just broadcasting to Facebook, or are we on YouTube too?
No, we are just on
Eric
Facebook
Dominic,
tonight.
a friend of mine. There he is.
There you go. Eric Dominic. Good friend of Steve's. We are just on Facebook because I'm no longer paying for the multiple streaming, Steve.
Cheap bastard.
That's right. I am a cheap bastard. I agree. So anyway,
it's okay, Jack.
I'm gonna wrap this up. Steve, thanks for coming back on. It was good having you.
See you in a couple months.
Good getting to talk to you. This has been the Fortean Slip, episode 202. The not so lost colony of Roanoke. Yeah, people, join the fucking like page. Follow the like page. Comment. Fucking like shit. Give the fucking page some love. Help me fucking get that thing back to where it was. That's what I want to do. It would be very nice for me. And next week, Katie and I will be back to bring you the news of the week. Until then, see ya!